Hello, my name is Ron Miller from Butler Mortgage, a Canadian mortgage brokerage. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about document collection. It's the part of the mortgage process that you have to prove whatever you put on your application. Now, a lot of the documents will be collected up front. Some of them, I always ask for pay stubs if somebody has a regular job. If they're self-employed, I do ask for T1s and NOAs just to confirm everything. The worst thing that you want to do is to go buy a house with false information and then you get turned down. That leaves you in a really bad spot. So it's always a good idea to get your paperwork in first. However, down payment is one of the things that we don't usually ask for up front. We just take your word for it that you have your 5, your 10, your 20% down. Now, where some mortgage brokers or some banks may make a slight mistake is, where is that money now? Basically, that's what I ask people. I had one client that said the money was from their own resources. Next thing you know, I find out it's from a line of credit. Well, if the funds are borrowed, we suddenly have to get you reapproved with borrowed money. If the funds are gifted and you said that was from your own resources, now we have to get you reapproved. So, and usually we don't ask for the down payment requirements until after you have a firm deal. So it can get a little scary. So what I ask people now, where is the money now? Show me the money. And that way there will be no mistakes. We have to prove also that that money has been in a bank account for 90 days. Or it's been accumulated into your bank account over the course of 90 days by ways of pay deposits or whatever. And we have to prove this to the bank. And it's not the bank that cares. It's not me that cares where the money comes from. It's the Canadian government. We have to, there's under FINTRAC, the Anti-Terrorism and Money Laundering Act, we have to prove that that money came from your own resources. And again, we must have 90-day proof. I mean, 90 days. Not 89 days, not 88 days. 90 days. And the reason for that is just a law that's set out. I don't necessarily care. But if we get a June and July and halfway through August, a 3-month bank statement, that's not 90 days. We're going to have to get something a little bit before June. If halfway through those 3 months worth of bank statements that you gave us, there's a $5,000 deposit, we're going to need 90 days from the day of that deposit from the other bank account if that's where it came from. If it's a gift, that's fine. We just need to get a gift letter from your parents. So sometimes it's a real pain. You may not understand, why do we need this? You have the money, great. It's not us, it's not the bank, it's the Canadian government that has set these rules in place. So if you do have your down payment sitting under your mattress, it might be a good idea to get it into the bank now. Let it sit there for 90 days and then we can use it. Another thing that I'll talk about is your employment documentation. And it's very important for a mortgage broker to ask you the right questions up front. If you say you make $60,000 a year last year, then that's great. But are you making $25 an hour and then you made a bunch of overtime? That's different. Because if we have to include overtime, then we're going to need you to have that job for at least 2 years, and then we're going to need 2 years worth of T4s. Whether if we're not including overtime, all we need is a job letter and maybe a couple pay stubs. So we have to know where the money came from, where your total income is. Let's say you got a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year last year. Some lenders won't allow us to use that bonus, so we would have to know that in order to put you with the right bank. And so we can include that $10,000 bonus that you get every year, just in case that's what you need for your approval. So there's a lot of other things. Again, with self-employed, we need the T1s, the NOAs. If you don't have your NOAs available, you need to know what documents you're going to need before closing. Sometimes if we have your T1s, we'll take your word on it that that's what your NOA is going to say, but you're going to have to prove it. And if you call up the government 2 weeks before closing to say that you need it and they told you it's going to take 3 to 6 weeks to mail it, then you're not closing and you're going to have a bit of a problem. I mean, we can get them within 1 day, but not many people know how to pull that off. But anyways, there's a lot of other stuff that you're always going to need. Void check, you're going to need your lawyer info, an approved lawyer. If you're renewing your mortgage, or if you're with a different lender switching, or if you're refinancing, we're going to need a mortgage statement from your current mortgage, a tax statement showing that your taxes are paid up to date. And then always keep in mind, every mortgage is different. Every lender asks for different documents, so it's just a good idea to have all your paperwork in order just in case you're going to need something, so you don't have any problems in the end. Again, if you have any questions, if you have a little problem right now you kind of need sorted out, give me a call. Again, my name is Ron Miller. Till the next post, have a great day. Thanks.